You are listening to NonPlayer Chaos.
Welcome to NonPlayer Chaos, an actual play podcast where the streets of Duskville aren't just shaped by our scoundrels, but by you, our listeners. If you're new to Blades in the Dark, here's what you need to know. This is a game about daring criminals in a haunted industrial city, pulling off heists, forging alliances, and outwitting rival factions, all while trying to stay one step ahead of the Blue Coats, the supernatural, and their own pasts. Unlike many TTRPGs, this one isn't about dungeon crawling or noble quests. It's about ambition, risk, and the cost of power. Our crew will lie, cheat, steal, and maybe even change the fate of Duskville itself. But here's where our podcast is different. You are part of this world. Between episodes, our listeners will have the chance to influence the game. You'll vote on choices, stir up trouble, and maybe even play a role in shaping the city's future. Did the crew's last heist draw too much heat? Did a rival gang just make their move? That's up to you. And that's not all. Our listeners have their own faction inside the game. On our Discord, you'll be part of a crew navigating the underworld alongside our main cast, forging alliances, making enemies, and changing the city in ways that the players will feel at the table. We're blending storytelling, gameplay, and audience-driven chaos to create a living world. So join our Discord and Reddit by checking the links in the show notes.
On this episode, a mysterious thief.
He's stealing all my dead clowns.
As easy as holding your breath.
Ghostville sounds funny because you shift partially into the ghost field for as long as you hold your breath.
Voting gone wrong.
Bodie McBookface strikes again.
And an unexpected business venture.
We're already in the bag. The dildos are already in the bag.
What's in the box?
Look at the dildos.
Just dildos.
All right, let's go around the table. So we'll start with say your name and who you're going to be playing as voted on by our friends on Discord. We'll start over here on my right.
I'm Jesse, and I will be playing Marzo, who dreams of being a circus ringmaster.
I'm Brian, and I will be playing Reno, an old degenerate gambler.
I'm Chris. I'll be playing Gorball. The revolution will not be televised.
I'm Ari. I'll be playing Halliday, and there are multiple other friends.
And
Fresh
I
personality.
am Nick, the game master who's trying to do as little work as possible, so please get on Discord or Reddit, join us and vote. Send our players some chaotic choices. So with that, we'll get into character creation as voted on, and I think I want to come up with a little, instead of calling them listeners, because they're doing more than listening, right? They're part
agents.
of the players. They're part of our crew.
The agents of chaos.
Are they the chaos crew?
Sounds like a Hanna-Barbera cartoon.
Okay, well, we will start with character creation and looking at the Discord. So we can start with the first one on the list, which would be for Jesse, Marzo. Inspired by a ringmaster of a childhood circus, Marzo dreams of commanding the spotlight. With no circus in sight and no honest prospects, he turns to a life of crime, crafting schemes to live out his fantasy of control, charisma, and showmanship. How do you feel about that one?
Ready to go. I think that it lends itself to a lot.
It does. It's fun. I was kind of surprised, but that definitely got the most votes for sure. Yeah, so you got the character sheet in front of you?
I got the creation sheet, yes.
Creation sheet. Okay. I don't have a creation sheet. I'm going to let you walk us through this, but first thing is probably what?
It's going to be playbook.
Playbook, and we're going to do that randomly, chaotically.
Yeah.
Okay, I got some here.
So
I've
there's
got
7, right?
Yeah, I've got 7.
How about randomly pluck one out, and then we'll place in 1 through 6 on the table,
Okay.
and then I'll roll a dice.
Okay.
What do you think?
Sounds good to me. There you go, top to bottom, 1 to 6.
All right, I'm not even looking.
Okay.
2.
2. A leech.
A leech.
All right.
Marzo's a leech. Excellent.
So ringmaster, circus master, leech.
So is the on the corner anything?
So the deep cuts, yes, that we'll get into more when we actually get into scores and stuff. but this was just recently released, and in fact, people have been asking about when's the Deep Cuts podcast coming, so we may be the first one. I'm not sure. We're probably definitely
That'd
the
be
first one with the live in-house band in the background.
100% for that.
So I'd put money on that one. But the Deep Cuts changes some of the rules we'll go over, but it also adds the Stranger, which we'll see shortly. It changes. The biggest thing it changes is it changes an action roll to a threat roll, which we'll talk about.
Uh-huh.
You know, it's kind of like the director's cut that John Harper wanted to see after he listened to a lot of people misplaying his game, I would say. Not saying that we won't be misplaying it as well, but
I hope to make him angry.
you hope to make sure.
You want to influence the next...
Make it even simpler. It's just a can of Play-Doh they send you. Just here.
All right, so we have a leech. Tell us a little bit about the leech. What is their kind of...
So...
Is that kind of like the
It's
thief from
technical skill and mayhem.
Technical Skill and Mayhem? All right.
I mean, you know, I think a ringmaster could work.
Yeah.
Alchemist, analyst, artificer. So there's
All right.
some things that I think definitely lend themselves to the idea of a guy who wants to be a ringmaster. We need to figure out. We want to do all of it now: heritage, background, look, style, all that.
So, yeah, we could touch on that. I don't know how much we want to put on the Chaos crew to vote on. I mean, we could come up with some basics, or we can just pick some now because it's supposed to influence your action dots as well.
Yeah.
Do you have anything in mind? We can come back to you after kind of moving on and seeing what...
Yeah. Do we want to go around and then have everybody pick their character sheet, or do we want to do all of it in one shot?
Let's do it all in one shot.
Okay.
You know, if that's okay with you. But all right, so let's look at the different heritages. So you can be Akarosi, Dagger Isles, Eruvia, Severos, Skovland, or Tykeros. And do you know about each of those?
Got a good idea.
Yeah.
And I feel like he's going to be from a more like established background than Tykeros seems like a cop out for most of this stuff, you know.
True.
That's like the
kind of the distant land. Yeah.
the air of the unknown about them. So I don't know. Maybe Dagger Isles. So rootless wanderer.
Yeah, people often grow up on ships and travel a lot before settling down.
I mean, we got the circus thing going.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Yeah.
There it is. I think we're going Dagger Isles. Yeah.
And background. So, academic, labor, law, trade, military, noble, underworld. You could probably even make up your own if you wanted to.
I was wondering about trade.
So this fits in perfectly with the Dagger Isle, because you can be a merchant. And they talk a lot about people traveling ships and going around selling things. Yeah, you could definitely be a trade.
That's where I kind of see this thing heading in that direction. So Dagger Isles, dealing in trade, but really higher aspirations to run the circus of life. And I mean, obviously, look and style is going to be pretty simple. We're talking long tails on a petticoat, top hat.
Absolutely.
All right. Pretty much everything else. So I need to figure out the specific form of leash, right? Or the
special ability?
Yeah.
Yeah, you can go ahead and pick your special ability.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So there's 9. You know what?
You can do a random one.
Hell yeah.
Okay.
Random number generator on Google, 1 through 9. I'm gonna hit it 4 times.
That was 5.
That was 9.
That was 9.
And it's the same number as the first time. So we ended up with Alchemist.
Alchemist, okay. When you invent or craft a creation, the alchemical features you get +1 quality level. You begin with 1 special formula already known.
All right.
I'm gonna let you think about that special formula.
Yeah, maybe that'll be another. Come up with 3 or 4 options and
Oh yeah.
let fate decide.
Absolutely. Okay, and then assigning some dots, your action dots. So you start with 2 in Tinker and 1 in Wreck, I believe, as a leech.
Yep.
And then you have 4 more dots to assign. And the way they suggest this is 1 dot in any action that you feel reflects your character's heritage. So from the Dagger Isles.
I feel like, I mean, Dagger Isles, he's going to be running through markets and on ships.
Yeah.
So let's go, I think a little bit of finesse. So
Okay.
do a little bit of finesse there.
And then a dot that reflects your background in trade.
We're going to go, he should be able to pick a rube from a distance.
That's what I was thinking.
So he's going to be like a, what do you think, survey or study?
I think either of those would work.
We're going to go survey.
Okay.
And this is my origin music behind us.
It'd be really funny if the mic catches on none of this.
Yeah.
Oh, that would.
You're just willing to throw something in the background on the.
Yeah, exactly.
All right.
Yeah. Okay, so we have
That's 2. I need to do 2 more, right?
so you need to do anywhere you would like.
This also has-
And you can only get up to 2 dots
Yeah.
per action.
Does have sway,
That makes sense.
right?
Yeah.
And we got 1 more here. I'm kind of leaning towards prowl or skirmish. Skirmish. I'm gonna go skirmish. Just go with
Okay.
my gut.
Yeah, maybe you got into some fight fun.
Yeah, you gotta like
shit.
defend your stuff, and
Yep.
yeah, you're gonna get boarded.
Yeah.
All right. 4 actions. I was ready. This special ability, friend or rival, or friend and rival.
Oh yeah. We could do that. Where the look and see. Oh yeah, friends and rivals. Stasia, an apothecary.
So-
Beltran, a psychonaut. I'm not even sure what a psychonaut is, but it sounds amazing.
There was 2 video games released called Psychonaut.
Yeah. I've heard of
And
it.
they went into people's minds and memories. So something to do with minds and
I'm leaving this one up to random as well.
Okay.
Have 5 number random generator, and I'm just tapping until Ari yells at me.
I couldn't yell at somebody.
Well, say something.
Something.
All right. 5. This is friend Melista, a priestess.
A priestess. Okay. This would be interesting with the
Yeah.
spoiler alert. The cult crew has been voted on.
Yeah. Well, that's all
Psyched
right.
about that.
Yeah, that's gonna be really interesting.
All right. Random number again with 4, and this time I'm going to wait until there's a lull in the conversation next door.
You might be waiting.
I don't think that's gonna happen.
What about when keyboards kick in again?
I think they're just laughing right now.
Then stop it.
3. So Eckert, a corpse thief, is my enemy.
Okay.
Yeah, that works.
Interesting.
He's stealing all my dead clowns. All right. And then Vice. Ooh, all right.
Yeah. And again, you can make up your own. These are kind of the easy ones to deal with.
See, if I just waited another 10 seconds,
Yeah.
the keyboards kicked in. What should my Vice be? Again, I feel like weird is too catch-all. I want to be something a little bit more,
Easy to play.
well, like, it's too wide open. I think something that maybe we go, yeah, we're going to go pleasure.
Okay. Pleasure, gratification from lovers,
Yeah.
food, drink, drugs, art, theater.
Yeah, I'm going to have to do a little thinking on exactly
Yeah, on
what,
exactly which one.
but yeah. But that'll be, Jesus. We got cat people next door. Yeah, and then name, alias, look, all that stuff. A lot of that's already done. So
That's true. Yep. Okay.
I think that's good.
Great.
And done.
We have Marzo the Leech from the Dagger Isles. Inspired by a circus. All right, so moving down the list to the next character that was voted on. This might have secretly been my favorite one to see what was going to happen. We had the choice between a former 60s cult leader, a vampire based on Nosferatu, and a stranger, Gorgol, destroyer of worlds, who was a failed Broadway actor turned MLM salesman from another world. Part of the new additions to Deep Cuts is the stranger, and that was Gorgol, who won the vote narrowly over the cult leader. So let's go ahead and build Gorgol, the stranger. So you're the first one doing the stranger.
So when I saw the stranger, I was immediately thinking Ash.
Oh, Evil Dead. Or yeah. Nice.
So I didn't quite write it that way though in the bio. It was, but that is one way you could potentially take that character.
Sure.
Ash, in my personal opinion, always displayed a surprising degree of adeptness with destroying the Deadites. Yeah. You could go that way, or the way that it's written is you know, a thespian who is selling skincare products and is basically a failure and a loser.
Oh, love it. Yeah.
And so from that perspective, they give you a few different options here with the stranger. And
Sorry, Punk. We're at it. Again, they just ended it. You were doing amazing.
yeah.
Holding it together.
I don't think we should edit this out.
Who knows? Maybe we'll leave some of it.
We should just have this whole thing unedited. It would be way easier on you.
It's chaos.
That's true. That is chaos. Sorry.
Next time we should record in the middle of a park.
In the middle of a park. Oh my God. I think that would be less chaotic than this.
Although I like the idea of randomly picking venues. Everybody come up with one and roll a dice. Next week, give me in a bar.
That would be
Keep the scene going, yeah.
Yeah. Well, I am absolutely excited to see how Gorgol is. Am I pronouncing it right? Gorgol? Yeah. Gorgol.
Definitely.
How he plays out.
Yeah. Well, so feedback generally from the group here, maybe, and from the players voted on what I think is really Gorgol a loser. He's playing Gorgol, but he's not anything like the character that he's playing.
Yeah. I see that you list him as actually having terrible acting skills. Yeah.
So as I was kind of imagining this, I'm kind of imagining Eddie Waymar, the failed Broadway actor, falling through a riff in
Yes.
New York City, where he was thoroughly failing as an actor and ending up in Dusk Bowl. In his first couple of days in Dusk Bowl, he actually meets Gorbol, the real
Oh, nice.
who he watches get knifed in an alleyway. He steals his literal clothes off of
Oh,
his
wow.
dead body.
Yeah.
Doesn't look much like Gorgol.
Sure.
But Gorgol kind of reminded him of Clint Eastwood. So he takes a Clint Eastwood kind of method to his acting,
Yep.
right? So he's going to try to play Clint Eastwood. Now they give you a few different options here with the stranger in terms of how you're going to play it. You know how to handle yourself. So you kind of borrow from the cutter. You've endured great suffering. I don't think either of those really apply here. You're driven to uncover the truth of what's happened to you. Could be that the fracture changed you, so you could go with a go-to approach. You blend in, which would maybe be a little bit more in line with what he wants to do. Maybe the subterfuge approach, which is kind of more what I was thinking there. So that's kind of the direction I was headed in it with it mentally.
Excellent.
I was thinking more from the background of being a fraudster, kind of
Excellent.
in
So,
his old life.
since you're talking about that, have you chosen which of those special abilities you're going to go with?
So yeah, you mean among like inside prowess and
Those two, but
for the special
Yeah.
stranger. Yeah. So I was thinking to blend in.
Okay.
I'm thinking that he's maybe terrible when he's trying
sure.
to play a role as an actor. He's
Yeah.
kind of a bust as an actor, but he's kind of not so bad as a fraudster.
Okay. Yeah. No, I wouldn't.
So I think I'm gonna go with the you blend in, but perspective there. But I think from that kind of approach, I was thinking more along the lines of he tries to play a Clint Eastwoody style Gorbol.
Yeah.
Maybe he has practiced whipping out guns or knives, but doesn't really know how to use.
Sure.
And probably has an array of abilities that are more suited to somebody who has spent a lot of time scheming to get people separated from their money.
Excellent. I like it.
Yeah. But he's got a dream here, right?
Yeah.
That dream is to be Gorbol.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yep. Well, let's see how he's able to. I like that. He's definitely starting at the bottom and
Yeah.
kind of a failure in his own world, and we'll see how he can rise with these people around him.
Yeah.
Or fall. Probably fall.
Yeah.
Yeah. Chances are against Gorbal.
Okay, so I think we honestly know that you will not have a heritage like the rest of the characters do. It sounds like Gorgol's world was a little, basically Earth, or a lot like Earth, or
Earth.
okay, yeah,
New York City.
yeah,
A New York City dweller, actor and Froster
okay,
for heritage and background.
yeah. So I think we can go ahead and look at the action dots, which is a little different for a stranger, I believe, because they don't have any that are automatically assigned like the other.
Yeah, you kind of just
So you get
priest.
7 and you throw them wherever you want to.
So
And no more can have more than 2 at the start.
right.
Yeah.
So, I was thinking about this a little bit. So the way I'm kind of understanding, for example, study,
Yeah.
kind of reading people a little bit in that situation. If you're kind of drawing on his background a little bit, studying the situation that you're in, reading people.
I think that is one way to look at it, and it can be used that way. And I believe it's also literally studying, like it.
Yes, right.
Yeah. So I think both of those do work.
So I'm
yes.
thinking that part of his fraudster background was as a document hoarder.
Oh, nice. Okay.
So he's study, sway potentially,
Yeah.
and maybe even command. Maybe he's sometimes like a dot in command. I'm not gonna say he's great at it. He's gonna fail spectacularly sometimes
Sure.
when he's trying.
Yeah.
But he at least maybe has a little bit of adeptness at this point with attempting to intimidate, even if he can't actually follow through on it.
I like it. Yeah. I mean, there's so many different ways a fraudster could go.
Yeah.
That this is really just wide open.
Now with something like actually, you also bring something with you from the old world.
Oh, like an item?
Yeah.
Nice.
So I was actually thinking a kit, which
Okay.
you can kind of help choose what's in there.
Yeah.
But that he used for these kinds of activities.
I think we're gonna let the listeners of Chaos decide what to. But maybe we'll come up with some ideas. Today's
in terms of like ideas, just
Yeah.
for the
Yeah, what do you
listeners
get? Yeah.
out there? But you can put whatever you want in there. Could be weird. Could be things he.
Do we want it? I don't know.
What kind of fraudster was he?
Maybe not too weird.
But let's see here.
Bloody McBookface strikes again.
So like everything's like arrays of inks, pens, papers.
Sure. Yeah.
Paints, brushes, costumery, or makeups or something.
Are you angling? Are you gonna be angling for Ash's boomstick though?
So I am absolutely. He's gonna carry boomstick around.
Nice.
And if in need, whip it out. But he's not going to. You can't miss. If you're close enough, you can't miss with a boomstick.
Yeah, you can.
Which is part of the appeal.
Yep.
But he's not adept.
Okay. Sure. Yeah. He's not practiced in it. Yeah.
He's practiced more with the pretend. But yeah,
Okay.
documents, waxes, stamps, those kind of things for anything that's forgery related could potentially be in there. But it could be whatever they want. In fact, I'm going to just leave it wide open.
Okay.
He had a case with him or a satchel or something like
Sure.
that. And it has something.
Something in it's beautiful.
Let them choose and I'll try to run with it.
Okay.
I think maybe I'm just a little more internet adept, but you're about to get a bag full of dildos.
That.
Let's see how that comes in play.
If that's what that's great. I think people want to see.
You have to roll with it.
It could be on calling card like the Wet Bandits. We just leave a dildo at every crime scene.
I think the question is, has Dustball encountered a dildo before?
I mean,
I think they're universal.
come on, didn't ancient Egypt have them in weeds? So
Do they have rubber ones?
No, probably not. So that's probably that's a rare commodity. Maybe I see a budding industry. Okay, I think.
Okay, so in terms of the actual dots, if he did something like document forging or that sort of thing, would that be Tinker? What would that be under?
That, I believe, Tinker probably would be good for document forging. So you can really make an argument for a couple things. You could argue maybe finesse, because that's like how dexterous your fingers are at forging these things. So I think it's however it makes sense in your head. Maybe study would also be good for that, because you're studying how the little intricate details of the thing you're forging. So,
So I had put 1 dot each in study, command, and sway. With the loser, fraudster, actor. Where do we want to put the 4th dot?
So I don't know. I mean, this would just give you a lot of 1 dot things, but in my mind, he also tried to consort a lot, like try to make people his buddy.
Yeah.
I mean,
Conceal.
but maybe that's not the type of fraudster he is, But I mean, actors, a lot of times they're trying to chum up to people and make them feel like they're the most important person in the room. Okay.
All right.
Doesn't he get 7 dots?
Yeah, he does get 7 dots. You get 7 dots.
I get 7.
Yeah, because you're supposed to, most of the time you get 3 automatically assigned based on your playbook. But since the stranger is not coming with a playbook that has dots assigned,
Right.
you get 7. So,
Okay.
yeah.
All right. So I have to put 3 more in there then.
Yeah, and you can, if you want to save some, that's fine.
And they're part of the game mechanic.
What we've done before is, like, when you need them in play, like the first time you're like, I really wish I had one in skirmish, would make it work in the fiction. And with a stranger, it's like, maybe you don't realize how you got changed coming over, and you're like, wow, I know Kung Fu, type thing.
Well, I mean, it's like we could also leave that a little bit open. I wouldn't mind leaving that open to people. Do they want to see someone that's a little more Ash-like?
Okay.
That is actually somehow as a former Supermart employee somehow knows how to like slay the enemy and fire boomsticks, or is he more the loser that he was originally written as? And we put more in like I said, fraud and trickery, and those kind of things.
Yes. So we can leave some, the rest of the dots up to people
Like
to vote
the
for.
emphasis, and then we'll assign the dots accordingly.
Excellent. So I think the last thing that we might need from
Didn't
you.
you skip? Oh wait, I thought you were saying the last character.
No. We've still got 2 more characters to go. Friends and rivals. So there are.
So for friends and rivals, for friends, it felt on this list like Hopper, a drugged seer, would be a little bit more in line with his friend, someone who might be another kind of loserish type that he is.
Absolutely.
Formed some partnerships with. As for someone he's not aligned with, is kind of his antagonist here. I'm thinking Hessa and Ingrid. In that Ingrid being a journalist, right?
Correct. Yep. That's the local journalist. Yep.
Maybe saw him come through the ring originally and lost track of him and is wanting to break this story about
Oh, wonderful. Yeah. And that's
he's does not want to be uncovered here.
great. Yeah, that's going to play great. I like that. Perfect choices. Yeah. Okay, I think that's most everything we need. Does he have another name from before he came over?
Eddie Waymer.
Eddie Waymer. Oh, you might have mentioned that. Yeah, Eddie Waymer. Okay, excellent. We will move on to the next character that was voted on. We had a choice between Halliday, Taro, and Josine, with the overwhelming people wanting to see Halliday, a homeless and the last of their family. Halliday survived a tragic childhood while speaking to unseen siblings. Whether they commune with the dead or are fractured by grief, no one knows. The eerie persistence leaves others unsure if they're haunted or simply broken by loss. So Ari, I believe that is your character, correct?
Yep. And
What?
slightly more clarification, because this speaking to unseen siblings, they were at one point alive.
Yeah, that's what I assumed. Okay.
Yeah, they were alive siblings, but through childhood, not any of them made it. And then by the time now, which is their early 20s, their parents are also dead. So they're alone, they're homeless. And for their, like, where do we start with this? Heritage? Yeah. So, I mean, they lived in the, I was just looking at this. Dunslow?
Dunslow?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Basically the poorest part, I think, of.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, so they grew up there. Maybe part of the reason their family didn't survive. And now they're stuck there, unable to leave, really. Unable to find a job.
Okay, so we gotta definitely blows to the scoundrels right there. And do you have in mind how their siblings died? Was it like a one big tragic?
Just over time.
Just over time, just
starvation,
illness.
Yeah.
Okay.
Getting sick. Maybe they
Excellent.
wandered off one day and were never found.
I say excellent, but I don't mean that that's a good thing, particularly. Makes for a good villain origin story. Are you going to be randomly choosing your class, or do you have one in mind? Okay, so I think we have, what do we have left here?
I mean, you also
You have
Whisper
6
down
left,
there.
right?
Oh, yeah, we have 6 here. So,
Yeah, Whisper over there?
do you want me to put that one in there?
Not really, but I'll do it.
Okay. It'd be weird to... Yeah, okay, so we've got 6 here. Go ahead and roll your die.
1.
Okay, let's... A lurk. Wait, is that the one you had, right?
He's a leech.
I'm a leech.
Oh, leech. Lurk. What's the
might
difference
be
between a
one I
leech
was
and a
looking
lurk?
at. It was. Lurk is for stealth.
Stealth. Ah, so that's okay.
Which I was actually kind of thinking of, because
Nice.
to survive homeless, you might have to sneak some food.
Yeah,
Sneak
absolutely.
around.
This definitely makes sense with this character. Okay.
So 4 action dots.
Well, do you want to choose your... Well, you already have your... Oh, well, I guess you already kind of talked about your heritage.
Yeah, and
My background.
is I'm homeless, so
Yep. Okay.
not much of a job there.
No, absolutely not. So that'd be an underworld, a street urchin. I think would be a good one.
Yeah.
So, okay, yeah. Assign your 4 action dots. What are the default dots that come with alert?
1 in finesse and 2 in prowl. So
Okay. Oh, perfect. All right. So go ahead and
I guess-
talk it out. Decide what you're thinking, or if anyone has any thoughts for him.
Probably at least 1 in study to know where to steal and how
Sure.
to steal. Maybe 2, but I'll decide that later. Oh, I just knocked my mic off.
Oh. I'll just put you in with AI.
You heard none of
AI
that.
these days.
Let's see. Attune, command. So attune is like for...
That's your connection to the spirit world.
Yeah.
So it's being able to reach out to the ghosts and yeah.
He's talking to some dead sibling.
We're all
Oh, that's true. That makes that does make a lot of sense. If you're actually now, are you just crazy, or are you actually
Yeah,
talking to
that's
them?
what I-
So that's
I'll put 1 in there to leave it a mystery, because if I
Okay.
had none in there, then the siblings wouldn't be real.
I
Maybe
mean,
they are.
you can still try. Like I said,
I mean, I could try.
Everyone in Dustball is connected to the ghost realm in one way or another.
So 1 in study,
Ghost
1 in
build.
attune. Probably not very social, so...
Probably not,
I mean, they're social with their siblings, but that doesn't really count.
unless you're good at begging and swaying people to give you money. I mean,
I think mostly it's through stealing.
okay.
but maybe 1 more in study and another in survey, because those kind of go together. But that, or maybe,
Yeah, I agree.
yeah. So 1 more in study, 1 in survey, and maybe the occasional homeless fight that you get into.
You're gonna be scrappy.
Yeah. So
I
I'll
mean,
put
if you had
1
all
in
the siblings
skirmish.
too, even if they all died of starvation.
Okay, so 2 in study, 1 in survey, 1 in finesse from being a lurk, 2 in prowl from being a lurk, 1 in skirmish, and 1 in attune.
Excellent.
Okay.
Okay. And a special ability. You leave it up.
Ghost Veil sounds funny because it's you shift partially into the ghost field for as long as you hold your breath, which I think is just
Are you serious?
Yeah, it's just a funny like asterisk like.
Yep, that's
Like,
good.
you have to hold your breath. That's just funny to me. I mean, maybe Daredevil could fit. You get +1d for desperate rolls, but -1 when you push yourself. So
Yeah.
probably in a lot of desperate situations and is used to it by now.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So I'll do that one for now.
Okay. Close friend and a rival. See what your options are for this. So Telda, a beggar, Darmot, a bluecoat, Drake, a locksmith, Rosalind Kellis, a noble, and Petra, a city clerk.
I think Tilda will be my friend because, fellow homeless.
That makes sense.
And I can honestly see any of these being my rivals if I just steal from them, but I'd probably most likely steal from a clerk, so...
Okay. Or we're gonna anything you don't want to choose, we can leave up to a vote as well,
maybe we'll leave that one up.
Okay.
Oh, this is a horrible eraser.
And what would be...
Because I know from my job that I don't care if people steal. So if he's a clerk, then...
Take it. He's working for the government. He's getting paid. Or Petra. Yeah.
So I'll leave that one up to the vote.
Okay.
A blue coat, a locksmith, a noble, or a city clerk.
Okay. Yeah. The next on my list over here is to choose your vice, which we did not do with Gorgle, I don't believe. Did you choose one?
Gambling.
Gambling seems to be...
He's like a five car stud kind of guy.
Okay. And for all these vices, we'll look at pairs later. We'll figure out maybe where we're based and find a local purveyor. How about for our lurk?
I think if it's possible that I wouldn't really have a purveyor and that I would just maybe return to a childhood playground and play air quotes with my siblings.
Yeah, I think that the main reason there's a purveyor is because one of the consequences of overindulging is being cut off, but we can just make a fiction where that works, where perhaps you're unable for whatever reason to access that area, or
they bulldoze it or something.
Well, that would be permanent. Well, yeah, unbulldoze it, yeah.
Cops are posted there or something.
Yeah. So, yeah, definitely we don't have to go with a purveyor as such.
Okay, so I guess weird it is.
Yeah, weird. That makes sense. Okay.
I think that's all.
Yeah, one thing we haven't touched on is aliases, but, maybe we earn those in-game, unless anybody has one that they know that they were called.
Well, we got one alias.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, absolutely.
Also, I'm really glad, with my characters, Halliday was the first one I thought of, and then the other ones actually took me a bit, so I'm glad everybody went with Halliday.
Oh, yeah.
And I didn't vote myself for Halliday, but it wouldn't have changed the vote at all. It was
No, that was overwhelming. Yeah, we had some close votes and some overwhelming votes. And the last overwhelming one is... No, that's not the one I'm looking at. We have... this is actually really close. This was split. And Reno won by 1 vote. So this was between Dahl, Reno, and Rando. I honestly thought Rando, the great and amazing sorcerer magician, was going to win, but I think some final votes came in.
At first, this is when I thought that we might be, other people might be playing these characters, because I didn't have the PDF at first, so I was it'd be funny to just have a gun and be magic trick.
Magic trick. They have guns in.
It's actually an homage to Mystery Science Theater. There's one of the movies they talk about. They have a guy that comes up and his name is Rando.
Oh.
And so one of the robots is like, Rando, the amazing.
Nice.
It's always stuck with me whenever I see anything that has the word random in it.
So what was the inspiration behind Reno, though? Did you have, or was this just...
Reno is just me wanting to make an old guy in a D&D game.
Yep.
And have him be an old person in a D&D game, because you never have...
And you don't.
Old
Rarely.
people in D&D games.
Rarely. I think I listen to a lot of actual play podcasts, and I think I've listened to one, and of course he had to be the wizard, the super old wizard.
And I didn't want him to be a wizard.
Yep.
Well, but we'll find out. I'm going to roll for his character and see what we get. Yes, I know. Well, I'm going to go super hardcore extreme. This is Reno's only thing he wants to do is just gamble, in missions.
Do you like dog racing? I thought that might be appropriate in to Charles Bukowski.
Oh my gosh. But yeah.
Okay. Well, let's find out. You want to find out what the playbook?
How many are left?
There are 5 left. So we can you can roll a 6 and just ignore 6s, or do a random number generator.
I'll roll and ignore 6. I got a 5.
5. Okay, so the last one down here. Oh, this is going to be hilarious. A cutter. we have an old man cutter. The third is basically, I'm going to rough you up.
So part of the reason, so that's interesting because like part of the reason I chose him was because Terry Pratchett writes a book. He's in these books, his series, Discworld series. He's got Cohen the Barbarian. He's like, well, he's basically supposed to be Conan the Barbarian, but he's like super old. And like that was one of the things I had in the back of my mind. This image when I was thinking of Reno the character. Beautiful. This really fits with that. So that's gonna be cool. All right. So got that. What is next?
So next is, I think we start with choosing a heritage.
Yeah, the heritage. I already decided I want him to be from Duskwall.
Okay, so yeah, from our main city on Akaros. So Akarosi is the heritage.
Yes. And then background. I'm not sure that I have. I guess labor would be a good background for him, but essentially it's like don't really know so much because he's so invested in gambling and.
So just however he could. Yeah, so day labor. I mean, that's, you know.
I did have. Okay, good. I did have a pen. Where I didn't have a pen. But this might be. So background, yeah, day labor. I didn't really have too much about him. I want him to be kind of like a mystery sort of thing when it comes to what his character is about, aside from the gambling aspect. And yeah. And that's where I'm going with that.
Excellent. Okay.
And then for
so the 2 dots, you've already got your 2 in skirmish from being a cutter and 1 in command, and you get 4 more. Or actually, am I doing this right? Yeah, 4 more. So 1 from your heritage. So somehow, growing up in Dustball, influenced one of your action dots.
They're gonna wear a loin.
No, he has a doctor's smock that he wears. So like a doctor, like a lab coat. He wears. He found it in an alley somewhere.
Oh yeah, I guess.
Yeah, because that's one of the things I wrote about. Is he thinks he's a doctor, so there's also that aspect.
Yeah, I guess I should read what we had people vote on.
Oh,
So,
yeah.
Reno, an ancient man with wispy white hair, a shiny bald crown, and a scraggly beard adorned with leaves and rat bones. You want to do the faux luck?
Faux luck.
He says with a gummy smile. Dressed in a dirty doctor's smock he found in an alley, Reno pretends he was once a doctor, but is really just a shameless, unrepentant gambler.
Yes.
I'm loving this crew already.
I am pretty psyched. So
We have like one semi-serious character.
The Circus?
Really, a witcher? Well, yeah, there you go.
Ringmaster?
We're a little too early there.
I mean, he just leans into that just a little, I think.
Yeah, that's why I said semi-serious.
Yeah, that's
Why he's not completely crazy.
So I'm gonna roll with everything. I'm not sure how I would do the rolling for
Action
the character
dots?
stats, the action dots.
Oh, so you're just gonna random? Okay, let's.
It would be a lot crazier with this character being random, especially as a skirmisher, because
Agreed.
yeah.
So
That's why I'm like, I don't know how to. We can go with you can go as playthrough progresses and just figure things out.
yeah, I mean, I'm cool with that. If you want to randomize it, we can just do random number generators. But if you want to do it as you play,
What? How many?
so you get 4 more.
There's 12. Okay, so there's 12 different.
There's 12,
So
but
just-
you can't add another to the skirmish.
Yeah,
So
I
there's
was.
a-
So that would actually be. So we would just. So any number between 1 and 12 that I roll, aside from what is it?
7.
7.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
I think this is a 12-sided. Yeah.
Oh, this is like the only time anyone ever uses a 12-sided.
Where's some other?
Sway.
Yeah, 1 in sway. I have 3
3
Ds.
dots left.
10, which is command.
All right,
that
so
maxes-
2 in command. So
I can't use command anymore, right?
Right.
All right.
Yep. So 7 and 10's a reroll.
3 survey. All right. This will be a random character.
I love it.
But survey actually kind of makes sense because maybe he was a doctor. We don't know.
Yeah.
So
Maybe he just got hit really hard in the head and all his skills were randomized. That's how it works in real life.
yeah. We can also figure out. I can also
Wait, did
figure
you
out more
get
of his background.
all 4 of your dots?
Oh, I thought there was just 3.
No, 4. You should have 7 total.
Yeah, I'm only 6 right
Yeah.
now. Wow.
11.
11.
Consort. Okay, so just a little bit of
Wow, yeah.
everything.
Very resolving. Okay. And then the next one. Let's see.
Oh, your special ability.
Oh, that's the one I was wondering about.
Yeah. Let's see. What are your special abilities? So there's Battleborn, which is expending special armor to reduce harm.
These things are really interesting.
Bodyguard, you can gather information to anticipate possible threats in the current situation. Fearsome aspect, intimidate, threaten, or commit violence. You are terrifying. Ghost fighter, so this is fighting against, spectral ghost.
What is it? 1, 2, 3. I mean, I'm okay with randomizing this one too because I like all of these for his character. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. For veteran, I'm not.
So
gonna
veteran, we're not
gonna
gonna do that now. That's mainly for like whenever you're advancing your character, you can take abilities from different playbooks. Yeah.
So just 8. We'll see what I get. Please. Ghost fighter.
Ghosts, okay.
Oh wow, that's interesting. All right. Add 1d when you make a roll in combat versus the supernatural.
So this is one change from deep cuts just in character creation. There wasn't a ton of changes, but they used to list the special abilities in the order of, I guess, how John Harper thought they were most useful.
Oh,
but
really?
now I think they're either alphabetical or just random.
Okay.
So now it's no longer just pick the top one. So I think it adds to people choosing a lot more different special abilities.
That works.
It looks like it is.
There's the ghost.
Whoa. Well, I just picked Ghost Fighter, so we have the appropriate background.
All right.
And that is
So close friend and a rival.
I'll roll again.
All right, so let me just let people know this is between Marlene, a pugilist. Who can tell me what a pugilist is? Okay.
They pugilize people.
Yeah.
I definitely knew that. I don't know how to pronounce this one. Chael, a vicious thug. Mercy, a cold killer. Grace, an extortionist. And Sawtooth, a physiker.
Yes. There's only 5.
So there's only 5.
So I'm not going to select a 6. On mine, it lists Chael, Grace, Marlene, Mercy, and Sawtooth. So
Okay, do it yours.
Okay. I got a 1, so it would be Chael, a vicious thug.
And is that your friend? Your ally?
That will be my friend, and then my... Oh, I can't do that. 5. So Sawtooth is my enemy.
Okay.
I think I might actually flip that around. Chael, the vicious thug, will be my enemy, and Sawtooth, the physiker, will be my friend.
Yeah, I didn't want to sway it, but physiker probably is very helpful.
So up would be friend, I'm guessing, and down would be the thug.
Yes.
Okay. All right, that makes sense. I don't want to have, because,
And now we've already talked about your vice, gambling.
It's not just gambling, it's specific gambling. It's I'm planning on having him gambling in missions.
You think you can make it to my alcohol? I want to see. Go ahead. I bet you $10. I can do it.
So, yeah. Unrepentant gambler.
Beautiful.
Yeah, where am I at now? Loadout, we don't have to worry about that.
We don't have to worry about that.
Nice. Yeah, we gotta get gambling. And then name, alias, and look. I kind of have all those kind of...
Yeah, we've kind of talked about them, but once we get into actual play, maybe we'll talk about our look some more, and if anyone thinks of the alias they want, or if we maybe earn one from failing spectacularly during a score. But that, I think, is everyone. So we've got quite the crew that's going to be a cult, and we have not one whisper in this cult. I don't know why in my mind it seems like you might want one for a cult, but it's going to be interesting. We've got a cutter, an old man cutter, loves to gamble. We have
A ringmaster leech.
Ringmaster Leech. I'm interested to see how this. Are you going to try and revive the circus industry in Duskball?
Yes.
Okay,
That's
so
going to be...
far we're going to handle the cult's going to be the figurehead. It's going to be the owning organization of the Dildo Enterprise and the circus and the circus revival.
Did you say the Dildo Enterprise?
Oh man, I thought that's maybe I misunderstood what was happening earlier.
We're already in the bag. The dildos are already in the bag.
So I think the plane is coming off the Apple podcast.
Yeah,
We already know.
What's in the box?
What's the dildos?
Just dildos.
We can teach the creepy orphan to juggle them.
Yeah.
One of my many things that I sold and
Yeah, in New York. So that's a good thing. So we got an old man and we got a 20-something. And how old was Thorgal?
I'm thinking for a failed, probably.
Yeah, you gotta be a little older.
Probably middle age.
Yeah,
Yeah.
makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. How about Marzo? Marzo are from the Dagger Isles.
I mean, old enough to have been able to take up the trade, but still young enough to think he's got a shot in making it. So, what do you think? Early 20s?
Sure. Okay. So we get the whole spectrum here. Well, I am excited. I'm excited to get this crew together, form a cult, start working our way up the ladder, or, and of course, these players will not, probably have to be shuffled in and out with other players. And I would love to get the listeners to actually create some of their own inspired characters for us to play, to bring in and out. So yeah, in Blades, it's more your crew is the permanent character as opposed to the characters themselves.
Sure.
So yeah. So the next time we meet, we'll be seeing how these characters form the cult, how they meet each other. I don't know. Do you think any of them know each other at this point before?
Probably not. I wouldn't know anybody.
Yeah. Probably not. Yeah. I don't. And how long has Gorgold been in?
Yeah, I was gonna say we might have.
Mike. Oh, that's true. And gambling. Yeah, maybe. Okay.
So
Yeah.
I have a feeling that could be something we could play up.
How long has Gorgold, do you think, been in Dustball?
It's been around for a little bit.
Okay.
Long enough to have seen Dorgal get killed in an alleyway, steal his clothes, and start adopting his character right now.
Nice.
Yeah. And has learned enough to start collecting various items and clothing and those sorts of things to disguise himself, and picking up the accents.
Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's some of the stuff it talks about in the Deep Cuts expansion about the strangers is that they can communicate. So I guess Dustball speaks English,
Yeah.
but you do have the accent. You are strange.
Yeah.
You are a stranger. Yeah, and we'll get into more about Stranger's place and Dustball Society, but they are kind of known. So there are other
But I
strangers
don't want to
out
be
there.
known as a stranger.
Good. Okay. Yeah. No, absolutely not.
Which is why I'm avoiding Tessa.
Excellent. All right. Join us next time when we see how this crew gets together.
And hopefully less singing.
Definitely less singing.
Maybe less singing. We can make it a musical.
Like Wiccan, but much, much worse.
This has been Non-Player Chaos.